Now, do you have a search warrant to be on my property?
Okay. I do not, okay?
Okay, so...
But, listen to me, all right? If you can just provide this information for me, your IDs, if you live here...
I'm not providing you nothing, man. Matter of fact, get off my property right now if you don't have a search warrant.
Sir, I'm
asking you nice.
And I was asking you nicely as well.
Hey, sir, all I'm saying, if you don't have a search warrant, paperwork to be on my property, what crime do you suspect
me of committing?
The only crime
that I have right now is y'all failure to identify.
Okay, 38.02, failure to identify. One must already be under arrest for a crime that he has committed. What crime have I committed?
Failure to identify.
No.
In another example of many in pathetic policing, these two officers show how they try to manipulate citizens to give up their rights.
That's not a crime. That only becomes a crime once one has already lawfully... Be quiet. Let me educate this one. You hear me? Let me educate him. 38.02. Failure to identify only becomes a crime when one has already been lawfully arrested for a crime. Let me give you an example, sir, since I don't know who you is.
What about detained?
Huh?
And what about detained?
What am I being detained for?
You were detained because you were suspicious activity.
No.
Where they clearly game planned how this would go, but unfortunately ran into a man that does not surrender his rights so easily.
No, what penal code? You got to name a penal code that I've committed. That is the crime. Name a crime that I committed. You hear me? Name a crime that I committed other than being black and walking down this driveway.
You were detained for suspicious behavior.
Walking out.
Hey, Shoemaker. Shoemaker, don't do that, brother.
Peep the look on his face. He knows what he's saying is BS, but the kerfuffle ensues when he doesn't get his usual way.
I'm finna show you guys, because you're dealing with the wrong one. That's why you guys mad at me, because you won't be able to handle me like you handle the other ones. Cause I'm on top of my game. I know you see the gold teeth, the tattoos, and immediately think I'm another plain, normal, regular black guy. No, player, wrong one. But let me educate you guys today. Texas Penal Code, failure to identify. A person commits an offense if he intentionally refused to give his name, residence, address, or date of birth to a peace officer who has lawfully arrested the person. I am not under arrest. Once you show me that you have a legitimate reason to believe that I have committed a crime or I'm in the act of committing a crime, you know, you got to name a penal code. What penal code do you suspect me of breaking? What crime have I committed? For you be in my yard and to be with me. You hear me?
Suspicious.
They have nothing. That is the point.
This officer told me I look suspicious, man. I look suspicious. Walking in my own, I'm just walking down the back. I'm walking down the driveway right here down to the backyard, right? When the officer right here was passing by. This officer right here was passing by. And when he seen me, he turned around and came back. And I looked up, he already in my backyard. You know what I'm saying? I got signs. He immediately stated that he seen the no trespassing sign.
That's correct.
He's agreeing with me. He seen the no trespassing sign and took it upon his business because he seen a black guy, I guess it's such a nice looking house, that we weren't supposed to be there. He's trespassing. He's looking to try to take something from me. You hear me? I violated no law. I haven't breached the peace. I've done nothing wrong. And he's here asking me for my information.
Yeah, that's all I need.
And I don't have to give that to you if I've done nothing wrong, sir.
For a suspicion act?
Suspicious of what?
Of being at this property.
This is proof right here, Marlon, of what we're dealing with. This is proof what we're dealing with. We got people in charge of us who don't even know the laws themselves. But I'll quote them for them. You hear me? I'll quote them for them and let them read them. You hear me? Yes, look at them.
This is sad and quite depressing. A dude doing nothing wrong, and the police trying to fabricate a story for a man to waive his rights. And they wonder why there is such distrust.
Yeah. Did you have a search warrant to come on my land, my property?
All right. Sir, what's your name again?
Am I free or am I being detained?
Well, I just want to know your name.
Am I being detained or am I free to go?
You're free to go.
Well, I don't answer questions.
Okay.
You have a nice day. Yeah. And you see how you see?
They really tried to be slick to get this guy to give up his info.
Now look at it. Now I don't want to give him a name. He just gonna leave. I thought I was doing something wrong. If I was doing something wrong, why are you leaving away so quick? Huh? Yes.
Nice day, sir.
Why am I leaving away so quick? What's your name again, sir?
I'm Officer Ortiz.
Officer Ortiz?
Yes, sir.
Yes, this is what we're dealing with, Marlon. You hear me? We got people like him who don't even know the laws themselves. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, officer. Uh-huh. Yeah, got him. Got him, boss. Hey, Jack. That's how you gotta handle them.
The penal code the uploader cites was the following. A person commits an offense if he intentionally refuses to give his name, residence, address, or date of birth to a peace officer who has lawfully arrested the person and requested the information. A person commits an offense if he intentionally gives a false or fictitious name, residence, address, or date of birth to a peace officer who has lawfully arrested the person, lawfully detained the person, or requested the information from a person that the peace officer has good cause to believe is a witness to a criminal offense. And then, of course, it lists the misdemeanors on the website. The Texas State Law Library added on to this with a simple question. Do I need to show a police officer my ID? The answer, Texas law only requires that you show your ID to a police officer under certain circumstances. These circumstances include after you've been arrested, when you are driving, and when you are carrying a handgun. The police officer's job, besides protecting and serving the public, is to make arrests. In fact, some police officers are tasked with arrest goals or arrest quotas that they are expected to achieve each week. As a general rule, if a police officer doesn't suspect you of a particular crime, you don't have to answer questions or submit to a search. However, if you consent, that is, you agree to talk to a police officer or agree to be searched, the info provided can be used against you or against others. The ACLU noted this is dependent on which state you live in. However, you have the right to remain silent. For example, you do not have to answer any questions about where you are going, where you're traveling from, what you are doing, or where you live. If you wish to exercise your right to remain silent, say so out loud.